Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. We are here today for a UCL match preview, RB Salzburg versus Inter. And of course, I had to get the connects, I had to get the Austrian connects in the house. We got RB Salzburg, part-time fan. I don't know how to best describe him. He's a Twitch streamer, also has got a YouTube channel. And if you don't follow him up on Twitter, you also can find him on Twitter. His name is Simi, or Simple Simi. What's up, brother?
What's going on? Thanks for having me, bro. You said part-time Salzburg fan. You can describe it as like part-time, I guess. It's just to get that clear because people are going to ask. It's like more player-related, less than club-related, because obviously we all know the Red Bull sort of thing. And obviously the last few years I've been understanding that, you know, for football it's a bit of a difficult thing. Obviously talk about Red Bull, but yeah, players-wise I'm very invested into the club. So yeah, that's what you can call it.
Yeah, that's why we got you on, bro, because obviously you live in Austria, so you know the situation. You kind of play. You watch these guys play as well, and that's I don't know much about them, I'll be honest. So that's why we've got you. But we got to know them last time round. I mean, let's get into it. Like, what did you make of the first game? Because I was really impressed. Like, I know Inter, maybe a lot of people criticized Inter that they were a bit flat, that they weren't concentrated, which is true. But at the same time, I think a lot of credit deserved. The due to RB Salzburg, this young, energetic team. Like, what did you make of it? Were you surprised with how good they played against Inter?
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of the Salzburg fans were surprised because the previous run of form wasn't really that great. It doesn't maybe show on paper, but on the pitch, like if you actually watch the games, you could kind of see like there was not really any game plan. The new coach that came in at the end of July, you didn't really know like what to expect. The first 2-3 games were good, and then it just kind of fell off. So in terms of like, going away to the Meazza and putting up a performance like that, like I think Inter fans and Salzburg fans were surprised that like Salzburg were that good. So at the end of the day, obviously the goal was very good. The Gloch goal, that was the equalizer at the time. And yeah, I think in terms of like the game itself, it was pretty even. So yeah, surprising to me and surprising to a lot of people, I think.
Yeah. No, I was really impressed. Not any specifically any players specifically, but it was just a team, really good team effort. So I'm not taking tomorrow's game lightly. I know a lot of I see a lot of the predictions there predicting easy 3-0, 2-0. Like I don't think it's gonna be that easy. What's the weather forecast for tomorrow? By the way, I know Austrian weather can be deadly.
It's not going to be a flood like in August at the friendly. I can guarantee you that. There was meant to be snow. They said it was going to be snowing last week, and then this week they said it's changing to rain. So it might rain tomorrow, little slight showers, but not going to be anything crazy. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like the Atalanta weather, you know what type of game it's going to be. It's going to be we're going to see some sliding. Maybe we see Durag Barella come back.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got the Inter Extra CEO as well in the house, Thomas.
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, I mean, let's get into it. Shout out to everyone in the chat, by the way. Mattia, Nene, Kirby, I see you guys. Thomas, as I said. Shout out to everyone. Everyone always make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. A bit of a different view on my angle, by the way, guys. I don't know if you notice. I've got a standing desk now, so I'm doing this whilst I'm standing. So if you see me moving around, it's because of
exercising.
Yeah. Because I have a remote job. I work from home, so I need to like do something about it. I can't be sat down all day. I'll get a hunchback. But let's get into it. Tomorrow's game. If Inter win, basically, that's blurrier than I thought it would be. But if Inter win tomorrow, basically qualified, because there's no way that Salzburg or Benfica would be able to catch up with Inter in terms of points if Inter win. So pretty much a must-win game because that just makes life easier. Means that Inzaghi can rotate in the last few games against Benfica and Real Sociedad. Anything to add on that, Simi?
Now, obviously, the first round was a bit like a surprise. Obviously, Salzburg beat Benfica away. The early red card was a bit of a game changer, but I think a lot of people thought that the group was going to be pretty tight, and obviously Sociedad and Inter have come out as like the favorites, I guess, after 3 games.
Benfica on 0 points is like shocking when you look at it. It's crazy, right?
Surprising, yeah. I have a few friends that are actually Benfica fans, and so obviously they've been like, they've been in tears because they didn't expect that group to go like that, because you think it's a pretty even group, and you think you have your chances in that group, but yeah, it's tough for them this season.
Yeah, and then so Salzburg definitely shocked on match day 1, which is the reason why I keep saying I don't want to underestimate these guys. And last time when we played Salzburg, they came in, they had a loss against Lask when they played us last time, but this time they're coming in with pretty good form. They've got 3 wins in a row last few games. Have you watched any of the recent games by any chance?
I watched all 3 of them. The last game, the away win, the 2-0 one. I watched the first 60 minutes. I think I missed the second goal. Obviously a lot of rotation involved and a few injuries still. And Terzic is injured, by the way, the left back. So that's one thing. So Ulmer is going to come in, the 38-year-old captain. So you already know Dumfries. I don't know if Dumfries can play, obviously, because he's injured. I don't know. We're going to get into that. But either Dumfries or Damian might have their fun on the right-hand side, because he's getting on a bit now. So
38 is out.
Yeah, 38. He's a club legend. But yeah, Terzic is out. So he's going to be filling in that left back. And the last 3 games they weren't convincing. I'll be honest. The 1-1 draw that you see, that was a win. That's the cup game.
Yeah.
Which is, it wasn't an easy game at all, obviously away on a Wednesday. And then, I don't think that any of the games or any of the wins were really that convincing. Maybe the 3-0 win was decent, but definitely not Champions League level. If anything, there's lots of room to improve for Salzburg. And, let's see if they can turn it around again, just like after the last game.
Are they still second in the league?
I think I think Graz lost. So I think, hold on, let me just have a look real quick. Yeah, first.
I remember last time round when we played them, they were second in the league.
Yeah, Graz lost the games. The other team that was up at the top of the table. So who are playing Atalanta, by the way. So Atalanta Inter was kind of the preparation for the 2 Austrian games. So yeah, Salzburg back on top though.
Yeah. Okay. So they're back on top, as they should be, as we would expect. He did play last time. Yeah, because Terzic was predicted to start. I remember when I was doing the preview last time around, but then Ulmer did start. But I didn't know that he was 38. That's a surprise, because your average age, I think I checked last time in the post match, it was like around 22.3 or something crazy like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Young team, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is a comment I 100% agree with, Mattia. I mean, it's not the fact that it's not a must win, but it's like if you win, you qualify. That means you can just focus on the league, which this year, I don't know what boat you're on, Simi, but to me, once again, I've been on the same boat every year, really. But it's all about the second start to me. I mean, it's always nice. Like we went last year to the final. We get that, respect from the rest of Europe as well. Obviously Inter need to be doing that kind of stuff regularly. But that all I think about at night, I want to see that second star, especially before Milan get it. What boat are you on?
No, I'm the same, and obviously every competition is important, but I think we've been longing for that second star for a while, and these past couple of years, I think that's just the only thing on everyone's minds, on every Inter fan's mind. So as long as we get the W tomorrow, I think it's a lot easier for us to focus on the next 2 months of league games, I suppose.
Yeah, 100%. And let's get into I mean, last few times we've met them, it's not been anything. 2 of them were friendlies. Actually, as you can see, Simi's got the scarf at the back. He was at the friendly when we beat them 4-3, thanks to that Sensi goal. We haven't seen I don't think we've seen Sensi since then, actually.
Bro, I don't know where he's gone, though. He might be missing.
Yeah, and obviously the last game we beat them 2-1. At the moment we've got a good record against them, but only one real competitive game. And then I mean, one player I wanted to discuss with you before we get into the predicted lineup. This was the player that impressed me the most when we played them last time round, which actually in the predicted lineups for some reason. He's not here. Is he Omar Soleil? Is he injured?
Yeah, I think I said that earlier before we went on live. I don't know if you caught it, but he's injured.
Yeah, I must have missed it.
He got injured during the first half of the league game over the weekend. It looked like his thigh again. He always has the same thing, the same problem with his thigh. It feels like every few weeks he just gets injured after doing a sprint. I honestly don't know. This guy's got Haribo thighs or something. I don't know how he gets injured every single time he runs. It's a shame because he has the potential to be like one of the best centre backs in the world. I'm not even exaggerating. But his injury is just holding him back. And like I said, his legs are like Haribo. I don't understand how he can get injured all the time. Like literally like 4 or 5 times a season. He's out for like 2-3 weeks. I don't understand it. So it's tough, but obviously he's one of our best players. And it's a shame if he can't play on in the game tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, when you say it like that, you're giving me that's a bit of a red flag, because I was going to say that he was one of those players we got linked to him. I think last summer, and then I've been keeping an eye on him since, and I was impressed, especially when he played against us. Progressive on the ball, powerful,
incredible,
athletic. Yeah. But yeah, this injury little issue that you're talking about is giving me some potential red flags. But I would definitely look at him as a potential long-term, right centre back. I think he could even play that central of the three position.
He could, 100%.
Yeah,
he's very offensive though. So like, I don't know if he'd be like disciplined enough to stay back when he plays central centre back. So right centre back would be perfect. But obviously, we have Pavard for that now, and maybe Bissek. Obviously, we'll get into that. But
yeah. Let's get into that. I mean, shout out to Umar Soleil, who had a great game. I know that like Pavlovic is the more famous out of the two, I think, because Pavlovic has had some big club links for a while now. I'm surprised actually. Pavlovic is still there. Is there a particular reason why he's still there? Because I see him linked all the time.
He was linked over the summer with like I think Juventus. I think I saw and some other club. And he's definitely like a player for Serie A, and he could probably go to the Prem as well. He's just, I think they decided like mutually agreed that he was going to stay for another year, and they made it quite clear like early in the summer, like June, July, like he's staying for another year, because obviously they were asking like all of the big players, are they staying, are they leaving? Obviously some left. Obviously Okafor went to Milan. A couple of other players just went to the German Bundesliga or whatever. And he decided to stay, so that's that.
Okay, fair enough. But I'll bring up the predicted lineup up here. As I said, Sule is not at the back for you guys. It says here they're playing like a 4-4-2 diamond, but when you played against us last time, it was more like a 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, wasn't it? Like that, it seemed to be more of that type of formation to me.
Yeah, it was interesting since we've never played that before, funnily enough, like a 4-3-2-1 sort of, if you wish, with 2 cams and 3 centre mids, which was kind of interesting because usually we played a little 4-1-2-1-2, the narrow one, and then you have the 2 strikers. But when I saw the formation at San Siro at the first game, I thought there's only one striker, Konate's on the bench. And I realized, it's more of a defensive approach because they were kind of afraid to just, be 3-0 down within 15 minutes, I guess. So they tried to be a little bit more careful in terms of how many attackers they actually filled. I don't know if they'll repeat that same process, because in the last 3 games after the Inter game, they played pretty much the same exact formation as they have the whole season. So 2 strikers again. So none of this 1 striker. And it'll be interesting to see if they try the same thing again tomorrow. But maybe at home it's a bit of a different approach. We'll have to wait and see. But this looks pretty spot on to me.
Yeah, I mean, you had a lot of injuries in the. I keep saying you as if you're like one of them.
You can say you. I don't mind.
Okay.
I don't mind.
But they had a lot of injuries last time around. It looks like it still have quite a few injuries. Koita, Oko, Piatkowski, Valna, as you mentioned, Terzic, Umoregi. Are any of these guys like key guys that are you missing?
Piatkowski's pretty good. He was meant to leave, but he's like our 4th centre back now, I guess. But he's like top quality as well. Koita's one of our best strikers, if not our best strikers. And so he needs to be fit to fully be able to compete in the Champions League, I guess, which is kind of a loss. And Fernando, I don't know if you know him. He used to play for Shakhtar. He even scored in the UCL before. And obviously,
is it that guy?
Yeah, it's that guy. Yeah, he left when the war happened last year, because obviously a lot of Shakhtar players left. So they snatched him up for 5 mil, and he's injured. He's been injured for like a year.
Wow.
So
maybe. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are, because Milan kind of play this kind of high pressing high intensity system. Is it like, it seems like a lot of these teams get a lot of these types of injuries. Like obviously RB Salzburg are part of this Red Bull style of play. They all play this kind of similar. Do you reckon it could be due to that as well?
I think some of it is down to that. Some of it is also down to the medical staff. 100%. I can't ignore. I can't look past that. As much as they say, like they keep reassuring people that we have top medical staff. It could just be like random, but I don't think it is, because there's always like 8, 9, 10 players out. I'm sorry, it's not. It can't just be like by chance. It's therefore something behind it that's like, not helping. That's for sure.
Yeah. No. And what about player-wise? I mean, as I said, I wasn't impressed individually by any player specifically, apart from Sule. But is there any guys that you would say, Inter fans, watch out for this guy? Like Simic looks decent up front. Obviously, Gluck scored that amazing goal.
Yeah.
Anyone else that you would like say watch out? I know we've been linked with Kiergaard, or I saw a couple of links randomly into with Kiergaard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was. I remember one tweet from the summer where there were like 2 free Salzburg players named from like Gazzetto or something, where they said like, this is like midfielders to look out for, but they're all too expensive, because obviously Salzburg will want a lot of money for some of these young guys. And yeah, in the first game, you couldn't really see anyone stand out too much because it was a weird game like that. You couldn't really see. And the whole season's kind of tough to judge because obviously the results have been mixed and the performances especially have been mixed. But in terms of players to look out for, Baidu is a great centre back as well. The guy that comes in for Soler, he's not that much worse. He's a Austria under 21 now, senior team as well. Coming up through the Salzburg Academy. He's from close to where I live, so I got quite a bit of a connection, obviously. And Simic is one of my favorite players over the last couple of years. Great striker, all-round striker, got pace, physicality, first touch. He knows how to show the ball, kind of like a Thuram sort of style player, Good dribbling as well. And probably my favorite player in this team is Gunnar Duat, just because he reminds me a lot of some of the CDMs we've had over the years. Some of the, like Mohamed Kamara, who went to Monaco, and who else was there? Just a couple of nice players that were in that DM role before. So he's one to look out for. He'll be very expensive though. So he could be like
I think he was one of the ones we were linked with, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he could be like a Çalhanoğlu replacement. But I'm very impressed with him. I think he's very good, very calm on the ball.
Okay. What about Susic, man? I used to hear a lot about him, but he didn't really particularly impress me in the game. He's your number 10 as well.
He's one of those guys. Like I feel like I have a feeling that the board pushes certain players to be like a star player, even if they don't perform on the pitch, just because they want to force like this academy sort of like vibe, I guess. And I know that's quite an unpopular opinion, but him and Kiergaard, I feel like they have the build to be a great midfielder, to be a great dribbler, all of that. But I feel like they're sometimes just like too big-headed, like too lazy on the ball. Like they don't pass soon enough. They have the technical abilities. Don't get me wrong. Sucic has like a great left foot. He can ping a pass. He can pass it like 50 meters all across the pitch. Doesn't really matter. But I feel like sometimes he just gets like too big-headed. It isn't even criticism. It's just like, I feel like if the team was more gelled together, I feel like he'd be someone that top European clubs would look out for. But not yet, I guess. But yeah.
When I saw clips of Susic, he kind of reminds me of Kovacic, like some of the clips I saw. Like he can go on those like mazy runs from midfield.
A little bit.
Yeah, no, decent team, of course, as we said. Not to underestimate them at all. But let's move on to our team, our main team, innit, Simi? Inter, lots of rotation by the looks of it, bro. You mentioned, Dumfries today. There was a clip that showed he was kind of on the sideline on the training because apparently he's suffering from a bit of fatigue. So it doesn't look anything serious, but he's played a lot of minutes, Dumfries, this year. I think 100%. He's only missed like one game for Netherlands, for Inter. So it looks like Darmian. And most importantly, is it Bisek time, brother? Is it young Bisek? Is it the Biz? It's Big Biz.
Hold on. I'm trying to get the tweet up. I don't know if you saw the tweet where he put on his Instagram story. It might be on Inter Extra, actually. From yesterday. Just search up
the one we said,
the Instagram story, because I thought that like that was an indication that he might, start getting some game time or whatever. I don't know what exactly meant. Yeah, this tweet
We're
right
getting
here.
close to type
We
sheet.
get type shit. Like I've been saying that the whole time, and me and Thomas have been joking about it because we kept just the whole day we've just been saying type shit, and now he's projected to start. So yes, funniest story.
It wasn't a great time tweet though, because it's like just after Pavard's injury, as we know, like kind of.
Yeah, that was a bit. I thought he was implying onto that, but I hope he wasn't, because I don't think he wishes the injury on anyone. But
no,
yeah, Thomas
I know,
knows
but
right there.
you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like it doesn't. The timing doesn't look right, but I guess it is. I guess it is Bistek time. I'm surprised to see him in the predictor. To be honest, like as we know, Inzaghi and Eminem, always makes fun of Inzaghi for this. It wouldn't be surprising, Simi, if we see, after all, we hype him up today and we see the Vrij start in RCB tomorrow.
I'm just gonna be laughing at the stadium right there. I'm telling you, like the whole build up, and obviously I think Sky tweeted. They didn't tweet it. Sky announced it as well that he might start. So if Sky say that he might start, then it could be pretty serious.
Yeah, here he is. This is the Sky Sport Italia. So yeah, I mean, you kind of have to, because if Dumfries is not injured by fatigue, you're gonna rest him. You don't have anyone else. Darmian obviously has to play right wing back. We don't have Cuadrado at the moment, so I kind of think Inzaghi's kind of forced into this, because unless he like
he'll probably start himself rather than Bisek. I'm not gonna lie.
Or he put Mkhitaryan in the right centre back. You'll find a way of starting Mkhitaryan in some way.
Yeah, 100%.
But apart from that, I mean, actually, no. Let's keep talking on Bisek. Like, what's your expectation on this? Like, obviously, this is going to be his first start for Inter. It's quite an important game. Obviously, away in the Champions League tie. That if Inter win, they qualify. He hasn't had many minutes. I think he's had maybe 30 minutes in total. I'll check in a minute whilst you're talking.
Not even, probably. I think it's like 15.
Yeah. So what do you make of it? Are you like confident for him, or are you kind of like nervous for him?
I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about it. Like at the same time, like on the one hand, is he's getting his first start. I'm happy for him. I've seen him in preseason. I feel like he's a great player. I've watched the comps on him, scouting reports, all of that stuff. But obviously against a high pressing team, coming in as a starter away, I don't know if it's going to be the best time to throw him in like that. Maybe it should have been like one or two more substitute appearances with maybe like 30 minutes, maybe like 25 minutes, to give him a bit of a feel of how the team actually plays. He has looked comfortable on the ball when he did play. I just feel like against a high pressing team, obviously the Salzburg team is going to know that it's a new centre back in there. They're going to try and apply extra pressure to see if they can possibly get a ball off of him, maybe try and make him play the one or two long balls that might not be as accurate. So as long as he just doesn't get away with doesn't come away with a lot of mistakes, I'm happy for him. So hopefully he gets a good game.
Yeah, no, hopefully, obviously, I hope so as well. I just hope Inter fans don't jump on his back if he makes a mistake.
No, man.
I remember, how Bellanova was treated last year after a mistake, Inter fans can be really brutal. So on his side, so he's going to play this side. So yeah, Simic is probably going to drift out to that side. Uma, Gurnadua. So yeah, it could be. Could you see them targeting? I could see them targeting Bisek a little bit.
Yeah, I mean the left side. There's not really going to be a left side, probably because we're going to play with two attacking midfielders again. So it's going to be one striker. So theoretically, it's more like the left side that's going to push up like Kjærgaard and stuff. It's tough to say what formation is exactly going to be played, but I'm guessing it's going to be a bit of a mix of all attacking players, pushing it onto that pressing Bisek, pressing that whole right hand side just to try and put a little bit of pressure. But
good thing is we've got Matty Doms next to him and Acerbi. I mean, you can't get more experience.
100%.
So no, that should be good. I mean, there's a question from Flip here who says, do you think Sommer will get some rest? I mean, no. I know Inzaghi last season weirdly was doing this kind of weird competition between Onana and Arnautovic, which shouldn't have been at all. It should have been Onana, all the way through. But normally, like, there is no rotation between goalkeepers, like, unless it's a Coppa Italia or, Sommer is tired or some form of injury. I don't see Aldero. And there's no need. That's the thing. Like, goalkeeper, you just need to keep going with the same goalkeeper. It's not like they get that fatigued in that position. So it maybe, I mean, Audero should be good enough to come into games because he's a starting Serie A level goalkeeper. But I'm happy to continue with Sommer. I don't think Inzaghi's gonna change that at all.
Yeah.
Let me give a quick shout out to Bruce Wayne, who's just given us a donation. Thank you very much, brother. The secret vigilante billionaire always comes through for us. I won't reveal his real identity. He might be Batman, but who knows? Let's take 3 points tomorrow, he says, 100%. No other way around it. Let's get back into the predicted lineups, bro. Obviously, as we said, Mkhitaryan starting as always. Frattesi coming in for Barella. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think it's a great game for Frattesi to come in. I think that suits him, the style of game that it's going to be. I would have preferred him to be in over Mkhitaryan and then Barella play. But listen, this guy is going to play until he's 60, so we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree. Frattesi was good in the Salzburg game. Like he contributed.
I really liked him.
Yeah, just hoping he needs to improve on his like passing and just the technical side of his game a little bit. But yeah, you're right. This team, like RB Salzburg, the way they play, is a perfect game for Frattesi. All action, midfield battle. It should be tomorrow. And on the left-hand side, Carlos Augusto coming in for Di Marco. I agree with that. I think he was good last time round. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Carlos Augusto, he's like, especially that long shot, that stayed in my mind because if that went in, boy, he would have had a whole fan base like praising him because that was like you said, I think you tweeted it or someone tweeted it. We've never seen Gosens like hit it like that. So
yeah, it was me.
that alone, like that blew my mind because I didn't expect that whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, and what about in terms of Hakan? I mean, would you? I personally wouldn't, but would you rest him and put Aslani in?
I'll play Agume, but that's just me.
Yeah, of course. If you guys didn't know, Simi is a big proponent. He's a big Agume FC. He's the president of Agume FC.
I am the president. Yeah, we're together with MJ. I'm the president.
But yeah, I don't know if that guy still exists or not.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Aslani. Would you start him in the Frosinone game? Maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't start him in this game. I feel like, he'll probably be able to handle it, but I wouldn't take the risk even if I was an Inzaghi with a rotation mind, I guess. But I would start him against Frosinone for sure, yeah. I think Cialanoglu needs a rest. I think he's been playing brilliant, but we can't, test it too much until he gets, tired and then he has one stinker and then it's it can get into a bit of a downward spiral. So hopefully he gets some rest against Frosinone.
Yeah. I agree. And what about finally up front? We got Thuram, Sanchez predicted. Let's see what they have the same. Yeah, Sport Media also have the same. So, what do you make of that? I mean, I probably would have, continued Lautaro at the moment. I just can't imagine the lineup without him. What do you make of that, Thuram, Sanchez?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think Lautaro does need a rest. I don't know if this is the one game to give him a rest. I would have preferred to see Thuram and Sanchez against Frosinone maybe, but maybe it would have been too late. Obviously Lautaro, you can always if he plays too much, you might risk an injury or something. You never really know. Obviously, he was injured around this time last year for the World Cup. So we need to be careful with how much he actually plays. And Sanchez is a good one. Is a good choice. Obviously, Arnautovic is just about ready for the bench. So it's too early, but I think Sanchez is one of those guys that, he's top class. We all know that, but he's just getting on a little bit. And against the top centre backs that Salzburg do have, I don't know if it might be a bit of a struggle, just because they're physically way, way stronger than him. So that's gonna be interesting. But Thuram's gonna hold it down up front, I think. So. Yeah.
Well, we've got some comments coming in from Inzaghi live reaction to the conference here. You're getting. So they asked him, is it BSEC time? And he said, yeah, he's been working well since the beginning of the year. He's a player on the rise. He's showing great signs in training and in the minutes he's played. We have this problem on the right. Dumfries wasn't able to train. I talked about it with the doctor. Dumfries is there. I don't know yet if he will start. I have Bisek. I have De Vrij. Carlos Augusto can also play on the right. I have several options I have to evaluate. Oh yeah, obviously you said Darmian can be used as a right wing back. So seems, there's no confirmation there. I didn't see a confirmation in that sentence, but seems like he's kind of speaking positively about him at least. Like, let's do a prediction, bro. Is he gonna start tomorrow?
He always does this, right? Where he doesn't like 100% confirm it. He just kind of beats around the bush. Like he doesn't really want to say like, oh, he's going to start or he's going to get his chance. Like he's just kind of saying like, yeah, he's there. You know, like we have him, and then that's it. And then he mentions Carlos Augusto as a right center back. I'm sorry, like at some point we need to be like, we need to stop like ditching this, getting Bissek onto the bench and actually starting him, because playing Carlos Augusto as a right center back over Bissek, I would fly to meet Inzaghi personally, man, because that's not okay.
No, I think maybe he means as a right wing back and then start Darmian as a right centre back.
I mean, yeah, he can work with that, I guess, but that's still not, you know, what we really want to see, I guess.
Yeah. No, yeah. I could actually, now that we've said it out loud, I can see that happening now that he's
don't ruin it, because we're gonna come back to this tomorrow and you're gonna say, look, like it's Sharma's fault, man.
Someone's gonna clip this, so it is what it is.
I'm gonna clip it.
Yeah. He's also spoken about Fratesi, and he's actually confirmed Fratesi. He's like, Fratesi will definitely play tomorrow.
Okay.
And I have to choose between the other two. Klaassen also deserves his space based on how he trains. Tomorrow I will make my choices for the good of Inter. So that's good. What about Klaassen? Yep. I mean, I don't really rate him. Like, I've not watched him too much in his career. I remember him from Everton. He used to like be really bad. So that's just my memory I have of him from then. But what's your opinion on Klaassen? Does he deserve more minutes?
Well, I was a bit surprised when we signed him, especially after we didn't find any loan spots for Agume and Sensi. I didn't really understand it, because now we have like 8 midfielders sitting there and no one really knows what for, you know? So even if 1 or 2 get injured, it's not that big of a deal, because it's the same 3 starting every game anyway. So I don't really see the point in signing him. Obviously, he's an experienced player, nothing special. Holds it down in the last few minutes when he gets subbed on. Yeah, I can't really say too much because I never really watched him like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's one of those players. Yeah, like it was weird that we signed him, and I'm not losing.
Yeah,
I'm not losing my sleep if we're not like giving him opportunities. He spoke about Pavard. He said we're going to lose him for a month and a half. We'll wait for him. So that's confirmed. So yeah, I mean, in that sense, a month and a half. And then that's probably, you know, not including recovery time or like, you know, maybe get time to get fit. So Bissek kind of needs to get integrated for that reason as well. Like if let's say Pavard has a complication to his injury, so you do need someone to be able to step into that position. So I do hope Inzaghi starts him tomorrow. I really do hope. It seems like Arnautovic hasn't talked yet. Oh no, yeah, here he is. Yeah, nothing interesting there. Oh, he says, let's see, he says he's well. We have a very strong attack with Lautaro, Marcos Nino, who was the starter, the coach of the side, not me. I'm going home. Oh yeah, he's coming home even though Salzburg is not his city. Well, what's the reception? What's the feeling of like Arnautovic to the Austrian people? I know he's only like your all-time top scorer for the Austrian national team.
Yeah, I think he's surpassed it now, or he's close anyway, one of those two. He's definitely someone that, you know, he's been in the national team for years. Like he's therefore like a legend or at this point. Quite the character, of course, and you just gotta love him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously there's going to be a lot of fans that are there for him. A lot of people that are going to be in the stadium to watch him play that will be happy that he's fit tomorrow. Maybe get like 30 minutes, 20 minutes. We'll see.
Yeah.
So definitely interesting to have him come back to Austria and play Champions League in an Austrian game.
Yeah. Well, what do you make of him? What were you? Obviously, you probably might be biased as an Austrian when we signed him, but were you happy?
It happened in like a week, no? Like the rumors came out, and then it was kind of like, no, it's not happening. And then his agent said, like, actually, yeah, like something might be going on. And then we signed him, and I was like it was kind of, I don't know, it was a weird feeling because I didn't really expect it. I didn't really know how to react. So I was happy that he came back home. I remember tweeting like, you know, I can't believe that he's actually here. And it's just a nice like comeback story. Obviously, he was here like 10, 15 years ago. And it just makes sense to me. Like obviously he's getting on a bit as well. But you know, Inter have a history of signing those kind of players the last few years. So I'm not surprised, but at the same time, it makes sense. I just love that it unfolded like that.
Yeah. No, I guess I've seen a lot of. Obviously, I think it's probably deserved that he's got some criticism recently in terms of that signing because of his injury history, which I think we all knew when we signed him. It wasn't even his age which I was against; it was just like injury history, and has come to bite us in the ass. So it's actually I'm happy that he's back, and we do need him, and I think I rate him higher than most Inter fans because technically I think he's a fantastic player.
Yeah.
So Inzaghi's also confirmed, and Nadim also says here, Sanchez 100% starting tomorrow, and then he needs to decide between Lautaro and Thuram. Or who would you go for personally?
I'll go for Thuram just so we have that big of a taller player because obviously Lauti and Sanchez aren't the tallest of guys. Definitely to compete in like aero duels with the tall centre backs, kind of have a bit of a force against that. And then maybe someone Lautaro in like the 60th or Arnautovic, either one of the two, maybe both actually. So that wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, now that we have all four strikers back fit, now Inzaghi can do, and we know Inzaghi likes to do that. He likes to sub out both strikers. Remember, he used to do that with Correa, Dzeko, Lautaro, and Lukaku. So that's definitely on the cards. Franco still has faith in Arnautovic to contribute to the team. Same. If he stays fit, 100%. I think some Inter fans are underrating him, to be honest, because he's a good player. He's a good player for sure. And maybe Lautaro. Someone commented, Lautaro another hat trick off the bench. He's running crazy at the moment. How highly? I mean, what? In Austria or in your friend group, is anyone talking about Lautaro? Because he should be spoken about right now as one of the best strikers in the world. Do you feel like he is being spoken about like that at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely funny enough. Yeah, my biggest I guess football friend group. A lot of them are Prem fans because a lot of my friends are from the UK, and a lot of the Prem heads are like, it's an easy league and whatnot. They try and talk it down whenever I try and talk about Inter. But Lautaro, you can't deny it, man. He's been incredible. I think I said it before. He's up there with Kane and Girassi for like the Europe's top 5 Golden Boot. I think he's in his best season ever, and as long as he doesn't get injured, I don't see why he could hit like 30, 35 goals because he's genuinely in that sort of form right now. So I hope he keeps it up. I knew that his time was coming, especially after the World Cup win. That can only fuel you to do better. And since then, he's just been incredible. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy to see him thrive like that.
100%. Have you always been a Lautaro believer? Because I know he split some of the fan base. Like even me, sometimes I used to think like, how long can we wait for this guy? I believe in him, but it's like, we need someone to start popping off now. Were you always like a strong believer, or did you have like some doubts in between?
Yeah, 100%. I was always one to, back him, especially because the fan base was always kind of had divided opinions about him. I think just off of my footballing eye, I always saw that he has the talent to be like, a world-class striker. And not just for like 2-3 seasons, but actually over like the span of 10-15 years, because he's genuinely like, when I watch him play, it doesn't always, especially the first few seasons, didn't always go perfectly right, like how he wanted to do certain things or pull off certain shots or certain moves. But I always saw that he has the footballing brain, he has the technical abilities, he has one hell of a strike on him. And like all of that together, it just makes sense that he finally gets his time to shine now. And I feel like it's overdue. And he's proven a lot of Inter fans wrong, that's for sure.
Yeah. No, that chemistry, as Sean says, the chemistry with Thuram has been crazy as well. Like Thuram, how good has been the Thuram? Like, did you expect Thuram to be that good? Because I wanted Thuram, but he's performing better than I ever imagined he would.
Yeah, I was always a big fan of Thuram when he played for Gladbach as well. You see a lot of the German football, obviously, in Austria, so a lot of the highlights get just played on TV and whatnot, and a lot of German Bundesliga games. So I always knew that he was a world-class striker. Just didn't really have the support in his team. Don't get me wrong, Gladbach aren't a bad team, but, I think Inter, he's finally found his spot to, get up to 100% of his potential, which is definitely what he needed at Inter. And I think, he's thriving. You can see he's scoring like bangers from, against in the derby against Milan, bro. That game was where I was like, yeah, he's so locked in. He's 100% there with his head. His talent is on show, and he's working well with Lautaro. So it's perfect. Probably better than him and Lukaku at this point. So,
Yeah. I would say so, because the Lukaku Lautaro thing was like more like, they would do these like layoffs or chested to each other like short distance, but like it seems like Thuram and Lautaro can link up from like
everywhere.
when
They
are
can do it
far
all.
away. Yeah. Whereas Lautaro Dzeko, that was a weird combo. that didn't always work. But yeah, Nazario 100%. If he continues like this, they were talking about.
Yeah, trust me, man.
Ballon d'Or contender for sure. Is there Copa America this year, or is it next year?
It's in the summer. I think it is, right? I'm not too sure.
Because if there's a Copa America being played, then woo.
Let me see
Copa
some
America 2024.
What's going on, Samir?
Yeah,
I see you.
2024.
The Cisa, I see you. Welcome in. Yeah, 2024. So he can have another trophy to add to his tally, hopefully. And then I don't see why he shouldn't be like a top 5 contender. I think his rating this year is disrespectful. I don't know how he got like 20th or something. I don't really understand it, but it's very World Cup biased. So I guess that's that.
Yeah, 100%. There's a comment here from Shant who says, he's confused that why Inzaghi makes so many important changes in important matches like this. But to be honest, he has to. The rotation is important. We've seen it. This team, the average age of this team is always 30 above. Like physiologically, you need to rotate these guys. And if you can't beat, all respect to Salzburg, but if you can't beat RB Salzburg, even with this rotated team, then some of these players are not good enough for Inter, to be honest.
Yep, it's true. I see what you're saying though, because like we could make rotation against like the lesser Serie A teams, if you want to say it like that, because I remember Aslani being thrown in against Real Sociedad. I was like, okay, that's a bit of a tough one because we know that's an away trip. That's very difficult. And instead of rotating him against a weaker Serie A side, he just threw him in there. I didn't really understand it. I think it's a bit unfair of him to put pressure on these players in games when there are other games to rotate players in. But that's just me. Maybe he knows what he's doing. I hope he does anyway. So,
well, the last 2 Serie A games we played with Roma and Atalanta, so it's like it's hard to rotate.
Yeah, obviously it's difficult.
Yeah. So no, I agree with the rotation here. Maybe a touch heavy, but at the same time, Dumfries probably would have started, but obviously he pulled up with a bit of a fatigue now, so he had to. There's some forced changes.
This one's fine. This game is fine.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to, before we close up, before we do predictions, general UCL, what are you making of it this year? Like Dortmund are winning 1-0 against Newcastle right now. Shakhtar are winning 1-0 against Barcelona at the moment. Wow. Do you see who are the favorites for you, and do you see Inter potentially going all the way this year?
Yeah, I don't really see any difference to last season, to be fair. Like in terms of quality and in the other teams and whatnot, I don't see why Inter have less of a chance. That's for sure. And I think in terms of having another run that can lead us to the final, I think it's more likely than last season. Obviously, last season was a bit of a favored knockout stage in terms of the matchups, but I feel like it was deserved enough. And this season, I feel like they can go the whole way again up to the final and hopefully win it this time. But yeah, obviously City are always going to be favorites, and Real Madrid, those kind of teams.
Of course.
Bayern, I'm not too sure, they're struggling a little bit right now, but the main teams are always there. Maybe a few surprises. Milan are last, yeah. Okay, there you go.
Well, they're playing PSG at home today, so we're gonna see if they're gonna send throw the Donnarumma fake dollars at Donnarumma.
Yep.
That's gonna.
I don't know if you saw Skriniar and Hakimi facing the Curva Nord at the warm up yesterday. That was interesting, especially because Hakimi looked like he was trying to force Skriniar to make some sort of sign towards the Curva Nord, but yeah, very interesting.
Very, very interesting. Yeah, outside. I mean, that's the thing. Like European football is a funny place at the moment. It's like there's a lot of teams, but none of them, Man City obviously stand out. But there's so much money going around. But I don't like. Does any team like scream to you like, "Oh, I definitely don't want to get this team"? They're all just like
maybe Barcelona, but that's about it. That's like 3 teams maximum that I'm like scared to face. I'm not scared to face anyone else. If you want to say it like that.
Barcelona, bro. Like, I mean, we saw
Yeah, we beat them last season, so there you go. That's like
Arsenal. Arsenal look good in the Premier League, but then like they haven't looked particularly good in Champions League.
I would be scared to face Arsenal necessarily.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I wouldn't be scared of anyone.
Yeah, Nazario, I agree. Only team that should beat us is City. We should beat anyone else. Like if we're actually on our game and on our game plan. So I agree.
100%. Yeah, I mean, even that, as you said, like Bayern are just like they always look good on paper, but under Tuchel, they're not flying at the moment, are they?
Yeah.
But they're always scary. I mean, that's the thing with Inter. Like when we play these fast team players with like pace, that's always scary with Inter because we struggle in that transition. But usually we're able to like just sit back and counter. It will be harder this season because only Inter and Napoli will qualify for next round. Oh, you mean in terms of getting a more favorable draw in the knockout? Yeah, but that's what we're saying. Me and Simi here is like even if we do progress, like there's no super scary teams. And especially if we finish first, that should help us a lot because then, usually you well actually last year we kind of got lucky because we finished second, but a lot of the teams that finished first weren't as good on paper as some other teams, so it can be funny like that. But this year it seems the groups are a bit more predictable this year. So
I even think we can beat City if we do face them eventually. Like we saw last year, we should have beat City in that final with Dzeko up front, so that tells you everything. And if we can give City a good game like that, then we can give them a good game with this squad. I don't see why not,
Yeah, definitely, bro. As long as if they miss like Rodri, they need like one big player to be missing, like Rodri or someone like that, Ruben Diaz or Edison.
I like how you're mentioning Rodri. That's interesting.
Obviously, yeah. I saw a rumor that Man United may transfer Gabigol. Wow, that would be crazy.
I saw that, yeah. Interesting one.
But yeah, Simi, 45 minutes in, I think we've discussed pretty much everything that I planned to discuss today.
Yep.
What are you saying then? Let's say we do play this lineup and Bisek does start. The miracle of Bisek does occur tomorrow. What are you saying? What's your predicted score line for tomorrow?
I have a feeling it's going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be like either 2-2 or 2-3, but I'm going to say 2-3 for Inter. So an away win, 3 goals scored. I think it's going to be high-scoring, yeah. So I'm predicting a 2-3.
So it's going to be what's it called? A Pazza Inter game for sure then.
Yeah, and I'm going to say Thuram's going to score. Just so we don't forget the goal scorers. Thuram's going to score 2 goals actually. And I feel like Arnautovic is going to come off the bench and score 1. So
I would like to see that. I would love to see Arnautovic goal off the bench. I think he would love it as well, going to Austria, getting a goal. What about Bisek debut goal?
Why not, man? I'm here for it.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm gonna go for like, I don't know, I'm feeling like if it's like a rainy, slippery game, like where it rains and it's like, it's gonna be hard physical with all this rotation, I think we might end up drawing this and like delaying our qualification. Because again, I don't think it'll be the end of the world if we don't win this game. Obviously, don't lose the game because you just open things up again. But if we draw the game, it's not the end of the world. And I do see us maybe being a bit flat. We see when the Inter rotated, they can be a bit flat off the gate. But obviously, we always have sick substitutions as well. Like we got, if Lautaro can come off the bench, Barella can come off the bench. Actually, yeah, I'll go for a 2. I'll go for the same score as we did last time. 2-1 victory to Inter.
Okay.
No clean sheet.
I see where you're coming from. Thuram brace. See, Nazario agrees with me. He knows ball. I just checked the weather forecast. It's meant to be sunny tomorrow, actually. So forget what I said earlier.
Okay. Forget my prediction as well.
If it stays like that, yeah. There you go. But let's see. Hopefully it's sunny, so I don't get wet.
Bisek scream! Oh my goodness! The Inter Twitter accounts will be flying with that video for many years to come.
Yep, definitely.
But yeah, thank you for coming through, Simi. I mean, plug away. I know you've got your own Twitch channel, so let the people know about it before we leave.
Yeah, I've been a bit on a hiatus, I guess you can say. So I've had a few things, happening in life that have prevented me from streaming. But we're finally back. I have a whole new setup just to, finally take things serious, finally be consistent. The Twitch links are down below. Twitch, YouTube, Insta, everything. Check it out. Linktree right there. So yeah, you can go and follow me up on that. Stream FC24. I stream reaction sort of content, IRL stuff, any of that sort of stuff. So if you're interested in FC24 or just gaming in general, you can follow me up. And yeah, I hope to see you there.
Yeah, he's got 308 followers, bro. That's quite good, isn't it, for Twitch?
We're starting up, man. I need to be consistent first before I can actually judge how I'm doing. But it's finally time. I finally have life sorted out, if you want to say it like that. So yeah.
Don't worry, bro. That's a lifelong process.
100%, bro. It takes time. But yeah.
But no, I appreciate you coming through and appreciate everyone that's come here. There's 42 people here in the live stream, so make sure everyone, please, if you can, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, check out Simi's link tree down in the description section down below, and obviously see you tomorrow, 8 p.m. UK time kickoff for me, so whatever time that is for you guys around the world.
9 p.m.
Yeah, so see you tomorrow for post-match. Ciao ragazzi, always Forza Inter, Bisec time, baby.